He just popped outside to the shed and then was never seen again. On the 11th of April in 2021, 20-year-old Branson Kane Perry vanished from his house in Skidmore, Missouri. This town is known for having so many weird crimes happen in it. I feel like I need to cover a lot more of them. But he completely vanished into thin air and nobody knows where he went. That day, Branson had been at home with one of his friends and 2 other people that were there working on a car. His dad had been in hospital having undergone heart surgery, so he was trying to get the house ready for his dad to come back. So at one point, he just casually tells his friend that he's just going to go outside to the shed to return some jumper cables, and he takes them outside and then he is gone. Nobody sees him again. Nobody hears from him again. He stepped out of the door, walked towards the outbuilding, and that was it. At first, there was no clear sign of what happened to Branson. His car was still there. His wallet was still there. Everything that was classed as like an important personal item that he might want to use was still in the house. There was no evidence of a struggle, and the way that the friend described it was that he just casually popped out. There wasn't anything weird going on. They just assumed that Branson would be back any second, so when he didn't come back pretty quickly, worry started to spread fast. In the following days, a massive search started and it covered a 15-mile radius of Skidmore. Despite the effort, there was absolutely no trace of Branson found, but a weird part of this case is that he had said he was going outside to put the jumper cables back, and initially the jumper cables were never found. They weren't there, but then 2 weeks later they mysteriously turned up in the shed. So who put them there? Why did they put them there? And how long had they been there? When investigators started to dig a little bit deeper, they found out that Branson and his friends had started experimenting a little bit with substances, and some witnesses suggested that he had stopped at a local house that was known for selling and dealing particular substances, although this was never confirmed, and that house later on would mysteriously burn down. So despite some of these leads, no one could ever say what Branson's final movements actually were after he left his yard that day in April. In 2003, the police would turn their attention to a man named Jack Wayne Rogers. He was from Fulton, Missouri. He had been arrested on unrelated charges including illegal surgeries, weapons violations and possession of CP. During the investigation, authorities discovered disturbing internet posts made by Rogers in which he described torturing and killing a young blonde hitchhiker who matched the description of Branson. And in his vehicle, they actually found a necklace that was really similar to one that Branson owned. Despite all of this, Jack said that he had no involvement, and the police concluded that they did not have enough evidence to charge him with anything. Over the years, law enforcement has continued to follow leads. In 2009, they conducted a dig at a property after receiving a tip, but ultimately nothing would happen from that. And since Branson's disappearance, unfortunately, both of his parents have now passed, so neither of them got closure on what happened to their son.